Ah. What's up, everyone? Savage Tiger here. Oh man, I've been a very busy man, but there's a lot to talk about. I just don't. I'm really being like on top of my YouTube uploading stuff after November, after like the beginning of November. I just never had the time, dude. I am such a busy man with things going on in my life that I couldn't even find sometimes a second to make these videos, and I wish I could have. But hey, I'm trying to get better. That's all. Everything's a process, you know. With that being said, man, we've got a lot to talk about what happened at the end of the 2022 college football season. So the last video I made before I made like a 5-minute, I forget how long the video was, but it was like probably 5 minutes or less. A little reaction video. Like, I recorded myself live, literally reacting to the very end of the national championship game, Georgia against TCU, where Georgia beat them 65-7, a 58-point margin of victory, which is the largest margin of victory in a national title game in college football history. So congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs. They made a lot of history, and they went back to back. And they joined my LSU Tigers as the second SEC team to go 15-0. And they're the third team to do it, if you include the 2018 Clemson Tigers who did it. So props on that. And I'm smiling right now because Alabama, you still ain't done it. What did I tell you? Oh man, this is gonna get fun. I knew it. I knew it, man. I can't believe all y'all tried to sell the rest of the country that the whole off season last year. I had to hear it. Oh, this is gonna be Saban's best team. This is a revenge tour coming. Bryce Young is so mad. He's going to put up huge numbers. Go back-to-back Heismans. Go to the national title. Go 15-0. Be Saban's best team. Oh, my goodness. Gump, here's a lesson to be learned. Maybe next time, don't set your expectations so high. Then you won't feel the disappointment you're feeling right now. We all want to win every game. I get it. As an LSU fan that has an elite program overall, I expect to win every game. I expect to. Every time I step on the field, I expect to win. But is it really going to happen every single time in your life? Every single game you play, you're going to win? No. Sadly, that is just not the case. I mean, you lost to Tennessee for the first time in 15 to 16 years. And Tennessee looks like they're back on the rise. Yeah, they lose another quarterback. They lose a couple of wide receivers, but they still have the head coach. The coaching staff seems to be doing all right. Their recruiting is pretty good. They have a 5-star quarterback that's insane. From what I'm hearing, he's very easy. He's insanely talented. I don't know if he's gonna play immediately. Probably not, but who knows? You know, I think that's a team, and I'm very excited to see. I knew the day they beat Alabama, and then all y'all gumps are gonna come at me saying, now y'all suddenly want to make all the excuses saying, oh, this was the worst Bama team I ever seen. This was Saban's worst. I don't think this was his worst. His worst was clearly 2007, which was his first year. And he had not much talent that he didn't recruit any of those guys, or maybe a few of them. That still remains to be his worst team. And I think his worst team that he himself, that he has all the players for, that he recruited himself, that was a 2010 that lost 3 games in the whole season. So, I mean, man, I'm gonna be making a bunch of these videos in the off season because I might not cover everything in this video that I want to cover, but I really just felt so inspired to make a video finally that I had a little bit of time, so I'm gonna do it. Oh yeah, so before I uploaded my Georgia TCU, end of championship game reaction, the last video I had uploaded was a hype and hate video for the Alabama game, or also known as the Crimson Team Out East, that I refer to as. Oh man, I didn't get much of a chance to talk about that, did I? But Alabama, what did I tell you the whole off season? LSU was winning that game. I've been telling you. I got that in my mind right after the moment that we fell 6 points short in Tuscaloosa in 2021 with a bunch of third-string players. We literally almost could pull it off. When with a terrible, incompetent coaching staff. Now, a talent was there. We had top 5 recruiting class in a row. All right? And the coaching staff was lame duck. It was a lame duck coaching staff, and we were down to third-string players. So that means there's no excuses. Yeah, I easily can say that while it may be true, that I can say if our starters played, we would have probably won that. Not only won that game, but maybe won by double digits. But but no, there are no excuses. We played to the last second with our third and fourth string players. That means we had a chance to win that game, and I'm disappointed as hell we did not win it. But as right there, I knew that moment. LSU's next. If LSU has a competent coaching staff, we're winning this ball game in Baton Rouge in 2022. And that's what happened. I kept trying to tell y'all the whole off season, but nobody would listen. Y'all wanted to lie to yourselves instead and face an alternate reality. That's not the actual reality. Y'all wanted to tell yourselves and tell the rest of the world that we're going to blow out LSU next year. We're going to blow out Georgia once we face them in the SEC title. Yeah, LSU ended up with the first-year head coach and a brand-new coaching staff that a lot of coaches were improving. And we had to get transfer players out of the transfer portal in 2022, where we had our worst recruiting class ranking, which was like number 12. That was our worst recruiting class ranking in a while, a long time, since we had a class that bad. That was not like in the top 10. So, because we had a lot of coaching turnover, not many people trusted us, so a lot of people decommitted. But man, I feel great for what we accomplished this year. I did not think LSU could reach 10 wins in 2022 with a first-year coach. Now I know Brian Kelly's a great head coach, but this is his first year. He's going to take time. It's a rebuilding you had to rebuild the culture too, and you somehow, in the middle of the season, start getting the team to buy in, and that's incredible. I was there to witness it. I can't believe y'all Bama fans told yourselves and everybody else that if you couldn't win the West with that experience, I mean, I knew. Let me get something straight here, so you get where I'm coming from as an observer. Like, I observe everything, okay? Before I'm an LSU fan, I'm a college football fan. So, I'm going to say this. Bama had an experienced team. They had talent, a lot of it. I mean, hell, they recruit great every year. There ain't no questioning that. They have championship level players. I mean, but the reason I told y'all that y'all were going to lose to LSU and y'all going to lose another two with somebody else too, whether it was between Tennessee, Auburn, possibly Texas, which y'all almost lost that one. Texas A&M almost lost that one. Ole Miss, almost there too. All the teams that I predicted that Alabama could lose to, I wasn't going to say they're going to lose all of them, but maybe a couple of them. And they ended up losing to two of them. Oh, and if they somehow won the West, I don't think they were going to beat Georgia this year. There ain't no way in hell in Atlanta they were going to beat Georgia. We don't care if the game was played in Atlanta, or I don't care if it was played in the Moon. They wasn't going to beat this Georgia team, which is incredible because Georgia took a major step back and still was able to do better than the year before. Now, that's a whole conversation to have about, you can compare like defense and offense and why this team is better than the other one or the other team is better than the other one. That's all different, but I know offensively they were a little better, but defensively they were a little worse, but still dominant defensively. And Alabama this year, I'll get to in a minute why they just could not stand. They were not going to stand too much of a chance to beat Georgia if they had to play them this year. But I just knew that the coaching staff you had, and I'm telling you what, your offensive coordinator was not bad. Y'all just didn't have a good receiver this year. That's where you lacked some players. You lacked receivers after Devontae Smith, and you got lucky with the transfer of Jamison Williams, and you thought Jermaine Burton was going to be the same, but no, he's not who you thought he was. And you got Jahmyr Gibbs. He basically would help you put up 40 points a game because he can catch the ball, he can run the ball. There, I'll tell you, the man was a headache to deal with as an LSU fan. He was a headache to deal with. Special ball player, but your offensive coordinator was not bad. Your defensive coordinator was terrible, and I knew once you lost Kirby Smart and Scott, and especially in 2020 you lost Scott Cochran, I was like, wait just a second. Georgia's going to be something. They're going to be building a dynasty there. I know at that moment. I was like, just wait. It's going to take a little time, but it's coming. And Alabama, you're going to see the fall very soon. The fall of them. So, and you're seeing it. 2 years later, you're seeing it. It's a slow decline, but it's happening. I mean, you'd be blind if you can't see it. Man. Right now, you're just not playing disciplined ball. Your players are very spoiled and entitled and only care about the NIL. I'm glad it happened. It's ruining you. NIL and the new transfer portal. You're not benefiting from it. Other teams are. And you're just not. It's just the way it is. I don't know what to say if you can't follow up with that. But, you know, that's just the way things are right now. And, I mean, you had a great run. Nothing to be ashamed of. But as I told you around this time last year, Alabama, it's over for you. And I'm saying this a year later, after you probably had a generational talent at quarterback and a generational talent at linebacker and a very experienced team. I knew it because of your staff, especially your defensive staff, and the attitude of your players. And a couple of positions that the players you have, we're just not going to get it done. There's a lot more I can say, but I'll probably put that in other videos. But as of now, just know that LSU has beaten you for the second time in the last 4 years. Well, you could put second time in 3 because I personally still don't like to count 2020. It's a pandemic year, like I always say. But for the self-absorbed Gump fans that, you know, they wouldn't be, if they didn't win the title that year, they wouldn't be counting that year either. But they want to count it now. They want to count it because they won. Then I'll tell you like this: it's still the second time in 4 years. And you thought it was going to be another 8-year streak on LSU? Now we got a good coaching staff that's gonna actually use the talent to its full potential. So that ain't gonna happen no more. What y'all thinking ain't gonna happen. But I'm afraid that's all I got for this video. Alabama, your foundation is all over. And I'll make another video just strictly talking about LSU, also about why 2022 proved that LSU is back. And I was gonna end it by saying LSU is back. We did almost the impossible in the first year when nobody thought we could do what we did. So shame on all you analysts, because only the true Tiger fans here know what we got and what we're gonna do. Now, to my expectation, we exceeded a little bit. I didn't think we would get 10 wins, but like again, that's just a little sneak preview of what I'm gonna talk about in my next video about LSU and where it's going and how we're already back as a powerhouse and how the future's gonna look, how I predict the future's gonna look. So with all that being said, LSU 32, Alabama 31. Suck on it, Gump. Go Tigers. You know what it is.